Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a tiny copper coin with a big piece of American history behind it. From its Denver Mint origins to its lasting symbol of post-war pride, this 1-cent piece carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and a golden era of American craftsmanship. So sit back and let's uncover the hidden value, history, and beauty of the 1951 Wheat Penny. Top 6. First up. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as one of the fascinating coins in American numismatic history. Minted during the post-World War economic boom, this 1-cent coin carries with it the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and symbolizes a period of industrial recovery, national pride, and growing prosperity across America. The Wheat Penny series, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The 1951 issue continued this proud tradition more than 4 decades later, with Lincoln's dignified portrait designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse of the 1951 penny showcases Lincoln's right-facing bust, with the word Liberty on the left and the phrase "In God We Trust" inscribed above his head. Below the date appears the D mint mark, indicating that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the most active mints in the United States during the early 1950s. The reverse of the coin displays 2 stylized stalks of wheat curving around the sides, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above these words lies the familiar motto EPLURIBUSUNUM, which translates to "out of many one." This design symbolizes agricultural prosperity and unity, fitting themes for a nation rebuilding and expanding in the century. The Denver Mint produced an impressive 625,355,000 Lincoln cents in 1951, making the 1951 one of the higher mintage coins of the series. Despite its large production, collectors value it for its strong strikes, rich luster, and occasional variations in color, especially those displaying deep red or reddish-brown toning that remain highly sought after today. The metal composition of the 1951 penny follows the standard post-war alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition had been used for most wheat pennies since 1909, except during World War II when steel cents were struck in 1943 to conserve copper for the war effort. By 1951, the U.S. Mint had fully returned to the traditional copper blend. The early 1950s marked an interesting period for coin production in America. The Denver Mint, equipped with modernized machinery, produced coins with sharper details than those from previous decades. The 1951 pennies often feature bold mint marks and crisp details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat ears, qualities that make them favorites among detail-oriented collectors. From a historical perspective, the 1951 Wheat Penny was minted during a time of global transition. The United States had emerged as a world power after World War and was entering the early stages of the Cold War. Economic confidence was rising, families were growing, and coins like the 1951 penny circulated widely in the hands of working Americans across towns, schools, and small businesses. For many collectors, the appeal of the 1951 penny lies not only in its age but also in its symbolism. It represents a generation that valued hard work, thrift, and patriotism, ideals embodied by President Lincoln himself. Holding such a coin today offers a tangible connection to that era's sense of purpose and progress. In terms of rarity, the 1951 Wheat Penny is generally considered common in circulated condition due to its large mintage. However, in uncirculated grades and above, the coin becomes far more desirable. Coins that retain their original red color, meaning full copper luster, can fetch significant premiums in the collector's market. Some of the most valuable 1951 pennies exhibit exceptional eye appeal, minimal contact marks, and strong, even color. According to coin grading standards, a red specimen can command several $100s or more at auction, especially if certified by major grading services such as or NGC. Varieties and errors also add to the intrigue of the 1951 penny. Collectors often search for minor die cracks, mint marks, or off-center strikes that occurred during production. While not as dramatic as the famous 1955 double die cent, certain 1951 errors can still attract strong interest and raise the coin's value considerably. Over the years, this penny has transitioned from a simple pocket change item to a piece of collectible Americana. Its reddish copper tone, simple wheat design, and portrait of Lincoln make it instantly recognizable and nostalgic for generations who grew up using it. Many young collectors even start their first penny albums with the 1951 D issue. As time passes, the survival rate of fully read, uncirculated 1951 D cents continues to decline due to oxidation and mishandling. Each pristine example that remains preserved today is a small relic of post-war craftsmanship, representing over 7 decades of American history encapsulated in a single cent. Today, the 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Penny holds both sentimental and historical value. For seasoned collectors, it's a cornerstone of the wheat penny collection, bridging the gap between the early low-mintage issues of the 1910s and the transitional designs of the 1950s that would soon evolve into the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. In conclusion, the 1951 D Wheat Penny is more than just a coin. It's a living symbol of American resilience and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Whether found in a coin roll inherited from an old collection or purchased at auction, this humble 1-cent piece continues to tell the story of a nation's journey through change, unity, and progress, all captured within the shine of copper and the mark of Denver's proud D. Next up, the 1952 Wheat Penny, officially known as the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Cent, no mint mark, is one of the classic American coins that carries not just monetary value but also deep historical and sentimental importance. This coin was struck by the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not carry any mint mark. The 1952 penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Wheat Cent series that was produced from 1909 to 1958 and remains one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. The coin's obverse design, featuring the bust of President Abraham Lincoln, symbolizes American strength, freedom, and unity, while the reverse design, featuring 2 wheat ears, reflects the nation's agricultural roots and prosperity. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Cent was minted in the post-World War era, during a time when the United States was experiencing great economic growth and recovery. The Philadelphia Mint produced 186,775,000 pieces that year, making it a common date coin. However, even though it's not considered rare in circulated condition, it still holds immense historical and collectible appeal due to its connection to the century American economy. Each coin represents a small piece of history, from the hands of working-class Americans to the cash registers of growing post-war businesses. The coin's composition is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the standard alloy for pennies before the change to copper-plated zinc in 1982. This gives the 1952 wheat penny a distinct reddish-brown luster when uncirculated, and over time, its color can range from bright red to deep brown depending on how it was stored. Collectors often grade these coins by their color red, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, and the level of preservation can drastically influence their value. A brilliant uncirculated red specimen can be worth many times more than a worn brown example. The design of the coin was created by Victor David Brenner, a sculptor of Lithuanian origin who was commissioned by President Theodore Roosevelt in 1909 to redesign the 1-cent coin in honor of Lincoln's 100th birthday. The obverse features Lincoln's portrait facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1952, to the right. The absence of a mint mark under the date identifies it as being struck in Philadelphia. The reverse shows the classic wheat design with 2 curved wheat stalks framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, and above them, the motto EPLURIBUS UNUM. Although the 1952 no mint mark penny was produced in large numbers, some high-grade examples or those with minting errors are sought after by collectors. Error types such as off-center strikes, die cracks, double die, or mint marks, even though Philadelphia coins lacked mint marks, dies could still have anomalies, can increase the coin's desirability and value. Some 1952 pennies also display a phenomenon called die deterioration doubling, which gives parts of the design a shadowed or doubled appearance, adding to their intrigue for error enthusiasts. In terms of market value, circulated 1952 Philadelphia wheat pennies are generally worth between 5 to 25 cents, depending on condition. However, in higher mint state grades, particularly and above, the value can jump significantly, ranging from $10 to over $50, and red-toned uncirculated coins can fetch even higher prices at auction. The rarest and most beautiful examples, graded red by professional services like or NGC, have sold for hundreds of dollars due to their rarity in such pristine condition. Beyond their monetary worth, the 1952 wheat pennies are cherished for their cultural and historical significance. They circulated during a period when America was booming with post-war optimism, suburban expansion, and industrial progress. Holding a 1952 penny today feels like holding a small time capsule from that vibrant decade, a simple yet powerful reminder of the American spirit and resilience. These coins also bridge generations, as many coin collectors inherited their first wheat pennies from parents or grandparents who saved them out of nostalgia for the good old days. Another fascinating aspect is the symbolism of the wheat ears. They were designed to represent the nation's agricultural abundance and Lincoln's connection to rural America, reminding citizens of the value of hard work, simplicity, and growth. The wheat design was eventually replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959, making the 1952 issue part of the final years of the iconic wheat design era. In conclusion, the 1952 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is not just a small copper coin, it is a piece of American history. Its design honors one of the nation's greatest leaders, its material tells the story of a pre-modern U.S. minting era, and its journey through time reflects decades of economic and cultural transformation. Whether you're a passionate collector, a history enthusiast, or simply someone holding an old penny from your change jar, the 1952 wheat cent stands as a timeless tribute to America's enduring legacy. Next up, the 1953 D wheat penny is a cherished coin among American collectors, representing not only a vital part of U.S. currency but also a reminder of post-war America's economic and industrial growth. Minted in Denver, the coin bears the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse front side. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. By 1953, the wheat cent had already become a beloved piece of American coinage, known for its simplicity, symbolism, and historical significance. The obverse of the 1953 D penny features the iconic right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by the Lithuanian-born sculptor Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head are the words "In God We Trust," with liberty appearing to the left and the date 1953 with a small d below it to indicate the Denver Mint. The reverse of the coin proudly displays two stalks of Durham wheat circling the denomination 1 cent and the country name United States of America. The motto EPLURIBUSUNUM arches across the top, symbolizing unity among the states. This design, often called the wheat ears reverse, gave the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny. The Denver Mint produced a large number of 1953 D wheat pennies, an impressive total of 700,515,000 coins. This high mintage means the coin is not considered rare in circulated condition, but well-preserved examples, especially those with full red luster, are highly sought after by collectors. During this time, the U.S. Mint focused on ensuring adequate coin supply for the booming post-war economy, as the 1950s marked a period of rapid industrial expansion and suburban development across Americans. The 1953 D penny, like other wheat cents minted after 1944, was composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition gave the coin its warm, reddish-brown tone and durability. It weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The minting process involved planchets being fed into presses that stamped the design with precise pressure, resulting in sharp details, especially noticeable in Lincoln's hair, the lettering, and the wheat ears on the reverse. To truly understand the 1953 D penny, one must look at the broader historical landscape of the early 1950s. America was entering a new age of prosperity after the hardships of World War and the Korean War. President Dwight D. Eisenhower was in office, the economy was booming, and American manufacturing was at its peak. The penny, though small, symbolized everyday American life, from buying candy for a cent to saving coins in a jar. It was the working man's coin, circulating widely in every pocket across the nation. The Denver Mint, established in 1906, had become one of the most efficient coin-producing facilities in the world by the 1950s. In 1953, it was responsible for producing the majority of Lincoln cents circulating in the western and central United States. The small d beneath the date is a mark of pride for Denver's craftsmanship. Despite the high production numbers, the Denver Mint maintained excellent striking quality that makes many 1953 D pennies visually appealing even today. While the 1953 D penny is not among the rarest of the wheat cent series, its value varies widely depending on its condition. A well-circulated example might only be worth 2 to 10 cents, but an uncirculated or mint state MS coin with strong red coloration can fetch $5 to $15 or more. Exceptional pieces graded or higher by professional services like or NGC can sell for hundreds of dollars. The highest graded examples, especially those with brilliant red luster and minimal marks, are prized by numismatists for their eye appeal. Some 1953D wheat pennies are famous for their minting errors, which make them valuable collectibles. Known varieties include die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, and repunched mint marks. A D, where the mint mark appears twice, can significantly increase the coin's desirability and price. These error coins are especially exciting to collectors because they represent small but fascinating imperfections in the minting process, turning an ordinary penny into a rare find. Preservation and color designation. Collectors often categorize 1953D wheat pennies based on their color preservation: brown BN, red-brown RB, and red. The original red luster fades over time as copper reacts with air, forming a brownish patina. Coins kept in original rolls, protected from oxygen and humidity, can retain their full red brilliance even after decades. A fully red 1953D penny in high grade remains one of the most visually striking coins from the era. Beyond monetary worth, the 1953D wheat penny holds deep sentimental and cultural significance. It connects collectors to the golden age of American coinage, when designs emphasize simplicity, honor, and national pride. Many people who find a 1953D penny in change today are amazed that such an old piece of history still circulates. For some, it recalls childhood memories of coin collecting or stories told by grandparents who lived during the 1950s. The 1953D wheat penny was minted just 6 years before the end of the wheat design. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This makes all wheat pennies, including the 1953D, part of a closed historical chapter in U.S. coinage. As the years go by, these coins grow scarcer in pristine condition, increasing both their collectible and nostalgic value. The 1953D Lincoln wheat penny stands as a timeless emblem of American history, craftsmanship, and resilience. Though small in denomination, its legacy looms large. Each surviving coin carries with it a story of an era defined by hope, progress, and hard work. Whether held by a collector, passed down through generations, or discovered in an old jar, the 1953D penny continues to remind us that even the smallest pieces of metal can hold immense historical and sentimental value. Next up, the 1954D Lincoln wheat penny is a remarkable piece of American numismatic history. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin represents one of the later issues in the long-running wheat cent series that began in 1909 and ended in 1958. The D mint mark below the date on the obverse signifies that it was minted in Denver, Colorado. During the 1950s, the United States Mint was operating at full capacity to meet the country's booming post-war economy, and the 1954D penny stands as a reflection of that era's industrial strength and national optimism. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This iconic design was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The inscriptions on the obverse read "In God We Trust" along the upper rim, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln's bust, and the date, 1954, with the small D mint mark below it. The reverse carries the famous wheat ears design, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural strength. The inscriptions include E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, at the top, and 1 cent, and United States of America at the center, framed by 2 wheat stalks curving inward. A total of approximately 251,552,500 coins were minted in Denver that year, making it one of the more common issues of the 1950s. However, even though it's not considered rare in circulated condition, the 1954D penny holds great historical and collectible appeal because of its connection to the classic wheat cent era. Collectors admire it for its clean strike quality and the warm, reddish-brown tones of its original copper alloy, composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition gives the coin its rich, traditional look and makes it instantly recognizable among collectors. The post-war 1950s was a period of major social and economic transformation in the United States. Coins from this decade, including the 1954D wheat penny, circulated widely in a nation that was transitioning from wartime austerity to a period of abundance. Pennies were a staple in daily commerce, used for everything from candy to postage. Because they were used so heavily, many examples from 1954D show heavy wear. Finding one in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially with bright red luster, is considerably more difficult and thus highly sought after by collectors. Numismatically, the 1954 D wheat penny is also known for a few interesting varieties and errors. Some examples display die cracks, repunched mint marks RPMs, or die chips around Lincoln's portrait or the lettering. These minting anomalies add an extra layer of intrigue and can significantly boost a coin's market value. Collectors often seek these varieties for their uniqueness, as each represents a small piece of minting history frozen in time. In terms of value, the 1954 D wheat penny's worth depends largely on its grade and color designation. In circulated condition, it's typically worth just a few cents over face value. However, in uncirculated mint state grades, MS65 or higher, prices can range from $10 to $25, and brilliant red RD examples with full luster and no contact marks can command even higher premiums. Exceptional specimens certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC may reach prices of $100 or more if they exhibit outstanding eye appeal. The 1954 D penny also carries emotional and nostalgic value. It represents one of the last years of the wheatback design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. Many collectors view these coins as a bridge between early 20th century craftsmanship and modern minting techniques. Each 1954 D wheat penny you hold is not just a piece of copper, it's a small artifact that connects you directly to mid-century American life. Even today, finding a 1954 D penny in your change can be an exciting discovery. It's a reminder that these coins have survived over 7 decades of circulation, passing through countless hands and witnessing generations of American history. For coin collectors, history enthusiasts, or anyone fascinated by the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the 1954 D wheat penny is a cherished collectible, simple in design, yet rich in meaning. In conclusion, the 1954 D wheat penny stands as a proud representation of America's numismatic and cultural heritage. Its enduring presence in coin collections and its warm copper glow symbolize a time when the United States was growing stronger, prouder, and more united. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, owning a 1954 D penny connects you to a remarkable chapter of American history that continues to shine through every grain of copper on its surface. Next up, the 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the most fascinating and widely discussed coins in the history of American numismatics. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at the time, this penny carries a great deal of historical and collectible significance. It belongs to the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, officially known as the Lincoln Wheat Ears Reverse Cent, which was produced from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing national prosperity. The year 1955 is particularly memorable among collectors because it produced one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history, the 1955 doubled die obverse penny. While not every 1955 cent is a doubled die, this famous variety brought tremendous attention to the year's issue and made even regular 1955 pennies more interesting to collectors. The normal 1955 no-mint mark penny was struck in massive quantities. Over 330 million coins were minted. But despite this large mintage, the coin still holds an important place due to its historical connection to this legendary minting error. Visually, the 1955 wheat penny features Lincoln's right-facing bust on the front, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" along the upper rim, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1955 to the right. The reverse side carries the traditional wheat design with 2 curved wheat ears surrounding the denomination 1 cent, the words United States of America, and the motto EPLURIBUS UNUM along the top. This timeless design represents American endurance and agriculture, which were vital themes during the first half of the 20th century. From a historical perspective, 1955 was a year of transition for the U.S. Mint. Technological improvements in minting were being introduced, but human error was still common during the die-making process. The famous doubled die penny from this year is thought to have resulted from a misalignment during the hubbing process, where the die received 2 slightly offset impressions. Only a few thousand such error coins entered circulation, but they captured public imagination and made headlines across the nation. The existence of this error gave even the normal 1955 no-mint mark penny extra attention, as people eagerly searched their pocket change for valuable variations. Economically, during the mid-1950s, 1 cent still held notable purchasing power, roughly equivalent to about 10 cents today. This meant the penny was still widely used in daily transactions. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already become an iconic part of American life by this time, serving as a reminder of Lincoln's leadership and the country's agricultural roots. Many families began collecting wheat pennies out of pocket change, especially after the news of the 1955 doubled die variety, which inspired countless new coin collectors. In terms of metal composition, the 1955 wheat penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it its distinct reddish-brown tone. Over the years, these coins have aged differently depending on storage conditions, producing colors ranging from bright red to deep brown. Collectors classify them accordingly as red RD, red-brown RB, and brown BN, with red examples being the most valuable due to their lustrous original surfaces. Today, the 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny remains a staple in any serious Lincoln cent collection. In circulated condition, it generally holds modest value, typically worth a few cents to a dollar depending on where, but in higher grades, especially uncirculated mint state examples, it can fetch between $5 and $25, and sometimes more for those with strong luster or proof-like surfaces. While it may not match the astronomical values of its doubled die counterpart, it stands as a symbol of one of the most exciting moments in U.S. coin history. The allure of the 1955 penny lies not only in its famous error story, but also in its place at the tail end of the wheat cent era. Just 3 years later in 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Therefore, the 1955 penny represents one of the last true, classic wheat issues before the modern redesigns began to dominate American coinage. For collectors, the 1955 no-mint mark penny offers a tangible link to mid-century America, a time of change, optimism, and growing fascination with coins. Whether you find one in an old jar, inherit it from a relative, or purchase it as part of a complete wheat penny set, this coin serves as a historical artifact. It reflects not only the technical craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, but also the spirit of a nation that valued its history and heroes. In conclusion, the 1955 wheat penny no-mint mark remains one of the most recognized and cherished coins in U.S. history. Though millions were minted, its legacy is forever tied to the excitement surrounding the double die variety and the enduring popularity of the Lincoln Wheat series. It's a coin that continues to fascinate both casual collectors and serious numismatists alike, a simple copper cent that tells a story far greater than its face value.